it's Chester, and welcome back to another episode of Kooky Craft. I know things have been getting a little bit slower on the channel here, but it's because we've officially sliced our content, divvied it up between our two channels now. So on this channel, you're going to get all of that fun, kid-friendly, educational content with my buddy Chester here. And nothing says educational like making an animal-based craft and learning about said animal. Which means we got Bambi, our local expert, to tell us about today's animal. How you doing, Bambi? Happy to give any animal facts anytime that these videos are made. So what are we making today? Well, as I was doing my laundry today, I have misplaced a sock. Now we all know that we can't go around wearing mismatched socks for whatever reason, and since I can't find the partner of this sock to save my life, we're going to make a sock beanie baby animal today. Oh boy! So this is a pretty simple craft, and you can use any basic sock that you have at home, any shape or size, to turn it into a beanie critter. All you need is the lone sock without a pair, something to fill it for the beanie part. Today we're going to be using rice, but beans will also work as well. Just make sure this is not cooked. Do not put cooked rice and beans into your sock, please. And of course, we're going to need a way to attach all of our little decorations on to make it into an animal, which is where the hot glue gun comes into play. Craft glue might also work with that as well, but you know me. I'm the hot glue gun every time, no matter what. But if you're a little bit on the younger side and are not allowed to play with hot things, then craft glue is the way to go too. I'm having a hard time saying glue today. Say glue gun 5 times fast. Glue gun, glue gun, glue, 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 glue. Blech. Now as for the rest of our items, we chose what kind of animal we'll turn our sock into, sort of based on the materials that we have left over from previous projects. I uncovered a bag of old googly eyes, which will be great to attach on for the eyes of our beanie critter today. We've got a few buttons here left over from the button collection I had when I was 6 to 8. I collected buttons for about 2 years, and apparently the box is still in my closet. The buttons have gone down over the years still. Pom-poms are also a great thing to use as well if you don't happen to have any extra buttons at home. And last, which is going to jumpstart the inspiration for this particular beanie critter, is this special gray, blackish white yarn. So Chester, when you look at this, what kind of critter do you think we could make out of it today? I'm smelling skunk. That's right, today we're gonna make our beanie look just like a skunk. P.U. Do we need to make it smell? No. Unless we find a stink bug in the corner of the room, then we could always put that in for an extra smell effect. Ew, gross! Whoa, that's a smelly animal you chose to make a beanie buddy out of. However, the smell is one of the most important skills of any species of skunk. And scissors. We're also going to need a pair of scissors as well today in order to cut our yarn for our skunk decor. So the first step we're going to do is plug in our hot glue gun here. Okay, all set. And while we're waiting for our hot glue gun to heat up, we are going to fill up our sock. Now, in order to make it look like a critter, the part where the ankle is, this little curve right here, is going to be the tail end of the skunk. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up from the toes of the sock right up into about that curve. We're going to fill it up with our bean material. How are we going to tie it? Well, there's a couple of ways we can go about this. We can either tie it with this string or use a rubber band. Then why didn't you put rubber band on the list? Add rubber band to the list. Thank you. Okay, per request, we are using a rubber band in order to tie it. So the first thing we're going to do is open up the insides of our rice bag and pour it into the sock here. Well, how are we going to pour it in? Just very carefully. Well, why wouldn't you use a spoon? Add spoon to the list. Is there anything else you think I forgot before we continue? No, I think that's everything. I'm going to get the rice bag opened up here. Now, Chester, you're going to be pouring the rice into the sock and I will prop the bag for you. Okay, just make sure not to spill any, okay? This is the rice I used to cook. I want to make sure there's enough in here. There are roughly 11 different species of skunk. They all vary based on location and fur pattern, but they have one distinct feature, that infamous stink. This smell is used as a defensive weapon and is only used as a last resort to ward off predatory animals. Their unique skill is a mixture of sulfuric chemicals, which can also make their spray highly flammable. Don't let their warning smell scare you off too much. A skunk can only spray about 5 to 6 times. After that, it takes about 10 days to produce more smelly ammunition. With that being said, you wouldn't want to frighten a skunk in the wild. You never know how much they're still packing. Okay, now that we have the full weight of the beanie part of our sock here, we're going to tie off the middle section with the rubber band. So you can either tie it like so. However, this doesn't quite blend in with the black of the sock here. And since we got enough sock left, I am going to tie it in a knot instead. So there's a couple of different ways that you can go about this. Also, this rubber band is just ridiculously big. Take rubber band off the list. It is not a necessity. You can use one, but it is not required. All right, so now it looks like we kind of have a little hacky sack here. I can't play hacky sack. There you go. So how do we turn it into a skunk? Well, we've got the body of our skunk right here and the tail of our skunk here. So there's a couple of things we need in order to make it into a skunk. Number one, we need to take our yarn and cut it so that we have 2 lines going down the middle, just like the stripes of a skunk would. And we'll also make sure to cut some strands as well for the tail so that the tail's nice and fluffy. Now, Chester, I need you to pick which color googly eyes you want to use for the skunk. Okay! And while Chester is off picking the googly eye color, we're going to start attaching details onto our skunk using the glue gun. Make sure I pick a white strand here for the stripes. Despite that smelly defense, skunks still have predators to look out for, such as large raptor birds like the great horned owl. Why is a great horned owl willing to go after a skunk? Well, birds don't have the best sense of smell, so it's possible that the owl simply doesn't register the foul stench coming off of the skunk. Or maybe it adds flavor. I don't know, I'm not an owl. Ah, Chester, you're back. Have you picked the googly eyes? Uh-huh. There you go. No, they're blue. Why am I not surprised? Blue's my favorite color! Yeah, that's why I'm not surprised. Well, it's time to add on the details of our skunk face using Chester's blue googly eyes here. I'm going to scrunch the bag a little bit closer to the front here so we have more of a head shape for our skunk. And then we'll attach on our googly eyes. This beanie's gonna have great big googly eyes here. And of course our skunk needs a nose, so I'm gonna use my black button for the little nose of our skunk. So what should you do if you or your furry companion, such as a dog, activates the skunk's smell? Hey, I wouldn't try to aggravate a skunk. You're very social, Chester, and not always the best with warning cues. Warning cues? Like what? You're making that silly noise again. My point speaks for itself. The common thought is to try and drown out the smell with tomato juice. This information is false, unless you want to smell like a pile of spaghetti and skunk smell. A mixture of dilute hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and dishwashing liquid is what works the best. And the best part about adding features onto whatever animal critter you pick is you are able to squish the beanie around based on whatever shape you're trying to get it to become. This is the kookiest skunk I've ever seen. So let's give him a little bit more character. I've got a few extra pieces here. So I'm going to take some of the yarn that we use for the tail and take the darker pieces and fold it to attach on. And that's going to be for the ears of our skunk. Not to fret, your chances of encountering a wild skunk are few and far between. That is because skunks are crepuscular, meaning they are most active first thing in the morning and right as the sun is setting. They are also quite solitary, so you most likely won't encounter more than one skunk at a time. The only exception to their isolation is during the winter season. Female skunks will gather together in underground dens to become dormant, while male skunks will typically stay in their dens alone. I also have this cute little flower button, so we're going to put that somewhere on our skunk just to give it a little bit more character and to have some colors stand out. Now since the eyes stand out so much at the front, I think I'm going to put the flower on the tail. So that way we have reminiscence of Flower the skunk from Bambi. There we go, a little tail feature there. So that way he's adorable in the front and his back smells as wonderful as a flower. At the end of the day, the skunk is a part of the North and South American forest ecosystem, and its smell certainly makes it a memorable critter. Good choice for a beanie buddy. However, if you want it to be authentic, I'd recommend adding some smell factor into the sock. Maybe some garlic powder or a heavy perfume. So here we have our fully complete, super adorable beanie skunk. And as mentioned at the beginning of the video, you can take any sort of leftover sock that you find lying around and turn it into any adorable critter of your choice. We chose skunk today just because I had yarn that looked like it would best suit a skunk, but you can turn a black sock into a lot of other different beanies, including a black bear or a black dog like Chester. So this activity is a lot more open-ended. It all depends on the materials that you have lying around your home that you think will help turn your ordinary average leftover sock into an adorable beanie critter. Oh, he's so cute! And give a nose touch. We are one now. Chester, we are one. Maybe next time make a beanie buddy or a craft after this little cutie. Toffee's adorable. You're adorable, right, Toffee? I mean, not as adorable as me, obviously. But, you know, he's decent. So that's going to wrap it up for this Kooky craft. Until next time, which is whenever inspiration strikes again, we hope all of you have a wonderful time making beanie animals of your own design. Chester, can you stop having a staring contest with the beanie skunk to say goodbye? Oh, yeah. Goodbye! He can't win. His eyes might be bigger, but neither of us have eyelids. I'm not standing here while you have a contest with the beanie skunk. Shh, I think I'm winning.